I have a strong message for the youth. We need to wake up. I say it and I want to keep saying it. Please do not ever fall into the trap of thinking that simply drinking, dancing, singing, and partying all night long will ever truly help us reach a higher level of existence or true freedom. With this kind of repetitive behavior, we can only expect to remain subjugated slaves, endlessly consuming and mindlessly devouring exactly what they produce for us. But above all, by giving away our wealth, our resources at a low price because we have no choice, because we don't know how to do anything. I am here to encourage research, to encourage innovation, to encourage technology. We need to be able to create. Let's take an example. We are in this room, and here are fans spinning everywhere. What is stopping young Burkinabés from making fans, from setting up a company to produce these fans? At the very least, we can copy them. Here is the air conditioner. What is stopping us from making it? Do you think they are smarter than us? The reality is right there. In what ways did our ancient ancestors first learn to recognize the presence of ferritic soil within our vast land? Furthermore, how did they manage to exploit this specific soil, successfully extract the raw iron, and eventually craft their essential tools? Answer me. So, were they smarter than us? What is making us more and more foolish? We need to ask ourselves this question and use the most accurate words. Since they made them, how did our ancestors extract gold, identify the soil where there was gold, extract it, and become truly wealthy? The richest man was in Africa, in West Africa. Here, I believe it was in Mali. How is it that today, just a few decades ago, all our gold deposits were handed over to others so they could come and exploit them and do whatever they want? Our ancestors were smarter than us, and we are more foolish than they were. How did we become more foolish? I'm not going to sugarcoat it. That's the word, that's the term. We say that we are revolutionaries. A revolutionary tells the truth. It may hurt, but it has to be said.
Hello Africa, kings and queens, ladies and gentlemen, my dear brothers and sisters. Have no good words to invite you to watch this powerful speech from brave leader of Burkina Faso, Captain Ibrahim Traoré. This is one of his best powerful speech that waking up Africans. Please take your time to watch this video from the beginning till the end. Here is a full speech.
I would like to welcome you all to this IOC hall. For I would say the 30th anniversary of FAIRCIT, the 15th edition, since it takes place every 2 years. 30 years have passed. That's not just 30 days. And I think it's time, in addition to the theme, to take stock, to assess the current situation. And so I would like to congratulate all the researchers, all the teachers and researchers, all the inventors, all the innovators for all the work that has already been accomplished despite the difficulties that may be encountered along the way. Once I asked the minister why people need so much money to do research. He gave me just one example. Just to analyze certain cells, people need to go to Europe. To gain access and pay to use scanning electron microscopes, and many other things that he mentioned to me. And it was that day as well that I realized we do not have certain laboratory equipment. And I made a commitment that in 2026, perhaps in the first quarter, this state-of-the-art next generation research equipment will be in Burkina Faso. Thank you. I also made a very special point of being here with you today, just to support you and to show you that I am truly here for you. All my gratitude, all my encouragement for everything you are doing, and we will all double our efforts, so that those who want to create, who want to invent, can do so. The Faso Amdube page has been created. Many people have started to register, and we are still waiting for more people to continue signing up. Because we are in the process of building a center called Faso Bangre, where all this equipment will be installed. And anyone who thinks they can create something will be able to come, find the necessary equipment to develop their invention, or I would say, replicate the inventions of others. Because rest assured, no matter how close your friendship is, when you buy something, as they say, they transfer the technology to you, but they don't transfer everything. Of course, there is the manufacturing secret that the person will keep to themselves. But there is nothing to worry about. We should not doubt our own abilities. Certainly, I encourage you and I congratulate you, but we must not stay at this stage. I'm not going to sugarcoat things for you. I might be a bit harsh this morning, but the goal is to wake everyone up. Everyone. Each and every one, especially the youth. Because I'm going to speak frankly, without diplomatic language, once again. Of course, Africa is the cradle of humanity, and that's scientifically proven, isn't it? You scientists are the ones who discovered that. That means the first human came from Africa. So why is Africa last today? I think these are the kinds of debates that should be animating our talk shows, our TV, our scientific forums, to understand why Africa is last. You've asked yourself that question, I suppose. Something didn't work out. And today, Burkina Faso has decided to make a revolution. The revolution is certainly ideological, political, and behavioral, but it is also, and above all, scientific, technological, industrial, in short, and more. We shouldn't just stop at slogans. Because when we talk about revolution, we're talking about endogeneity. And when we say endogenous, it's not just about saying the word. We have to be able to work by ourselves and for ourselves. Personally, I believe that God is just. He created all men equal. We have the same organs. It's just that when it comes to the brain, I still think scientifically that most of us don't use even 10% of our brain's potential. And it's by working that we manage to tap into the potential of the brain. But let's admit that we are very lazy. We don't work. Of course, at some point, even here in Burkina, concepts were introduced to tell us that a person shouldn't work more than 6 or 8 hours a day. And we adopted that, and we fight for that. We're not getting anywhere with that. How can we possibly assert and demand these specific types of fundamental rights, if I can even call them that, and still hope to effectively overcome and compensate for the significant developmental delays we are currently experiencing? Today we have companies working day and night. Work that used to take 3 years is now done in less than a year. In any case, making people work day and night for projects that were supposed to take maybe 10 months, they're doing them in 1 month. It's entirely possible. You know, they came to flatter us, to lull us with lots of concepts. We're going to have to get rid of that. That's also what revolution means. If we want to catch up, we have to get back to work. Africa cannot be the cradle of humanity. God did not create us to be foolish. He gave us brains just like He gave them. But we refuse to make use of the potential of our minds. Of course, those who stand out with an intellectual quotient above average, I would say, manage to succeed, but very often they are recruited by imperialists to go work for them. And due to a lack of patriotism in some cases, they agree to leave. For others, the environment here simply wasn't conducive for them to express themselves. They left. We urge those who want to return to come back and work here for their homeland, for their brothers and sisters. I have a strong message for the youth. We need to wake up. I say it and I want to keep saying it. Please do not ever fall into the trap of thinking that simply drinking, dancing, singing, and partying all night long will ever truly help us reach a higher level of existence or true freedom. With this kind of repetitive behavior, we can only expect to remain subjugated slaves, endlessly consuming and mindlessly devouring exactly what they produce for us. but above all, by giving away our wealth, our resources at a low price because we have no choice, because we don't know how to do anything. I am here to encourage research, to encourage innovation, to encourage technology. We need to be able to create. Let's take an example. We are in this room, and here are fans spinning everywhere. What is stopping young Burkinabés from making fans, from setting up a company to produce these fans? At the very least, we can copy them. Here is the air conditioner. What is stopping us from making it? Do you think they are smarter than us? The reality is right there. In what ways did our ancient ancestors first learn to recognize the presence of ferritic soil within our vast land? Furthermore, how did they manage to exploit this specific soil, successfully extract the raw iron, and eventually craft their essential tools? Answer me. So, were they smarter than us? What is making us more and more foolish? We need to ask ourselves this question and use the most accurate words. Since they made them, how did our ancestors extract gold, identify the soil where there was gold, extract it, and become truly wealthy? The richest man was in Africa, in West Africa. Here, I believe it was in Mali. How is it that today, just a few decades ago, all our gold deposits were handed over to others so they could come and exploit them and do whatever they want? Our ancestors were smarter than us, and we are more foolish than they were. How did we become more foolish? I'm not going to sugarcoat it. That's the word, that's the term. We say that we are revolutionaries. A revolutionary tells the truth. It may hurt, but it has to be said. So I want us to wake up. We cannot continue in this way and hope to prosper. It's impossible. Every period, every month, or often every quarter, I like to say, the Minister of Commerce sends me an update on our imports. I look at the volume and the amount that we send abroad to export products. Often it hurts me. Often sit down and do a simple calculation. Do you want economic sovereignty? Do a simple calculation. Clothing. If we take 20 million Burkinabés who spend 10,000 CFA francs per month and per year on clothing, and we import that, it amounts to 200 billion francs. But the average among you spends 10,000 francs per year on clothing, just by buying shoes or something that is imported. Are we too foolish to see what we import and realize we could create it here? I doubt it. Just clothing alone. There are many other sectors. The numbers are there. You might be able to see in some statistics what is important to us and what we could even manufacture right here at home. Last time I asked those from the in-person initiative for quality education, I don't know if they're here, to send me an update on the equipment for the lecture halls and those we are currently building. What do they plan to do? How do they plan to equip them? They sent it to me. I took the time to read it over the weekend, and I saw how many billions in contracts would need to be awarded for the equipment. You see, in your lecture halls, the students are there. In the lecture halls, your desks, in the offices, and everything that goes along with it. There are a lot of lecture halls under construction, so that's a lot of equipment. And I saw the standards they set and all that. All this furniture was supposed to be ordered from abroad. So I told them, here's what's going to happen. Either we make it ourselves, using our own carpenters and welders here. Or you go out into the bush, find all the dead wood, cut some stools, and bring them to put in the universities. When the students sit on those stools, if it hurts them, it's certain that among them, some will have the intelligence to create the benches we're making. Or we can find right now carpenters and welders from here who will make the kind of folding benches we want. But I think it's already underway, isn't it, Lady Cap? There are some, which means the resources exist. But why should billions be spent when people here can do the work themselves? You are capable of doing things. And besides, whether you're a minister, a director, or the president of an institution, there are more. Since last year, I was telling people, when I was doing the arbitration, those who had broken offices or whatever, I told them to take some stones and prop them up, as long as it doesn't fall. If it falls, make it here. No one will import luxury furniture into Burkina for these offices. We will make it here. So, those who have a project in 2026 to include in their budget the importation of furniture, to have very beautiful offices, and I don't know what else, forget about it, it won't happen. We will make it here until it looks as nice as we want, because no one will live in luxury until we reach a certain level. If you want your luxury, you have to manage it yourself and use your own salary to create it. As for the rest, we will focus on work. And everyone needs to wake up. We have a lot of fun. Having fun is good, but we need to work first. But it's a policy to lull the continent to sleep. Let me take an event that happened. I have nothing against the organizers, nothing in particular. Miss University 2025. I think she won a lot of prizes. Maybe she's in the room here, I don't know. But at least she managed to... 3 million, a check for 3 million, plus all expenses paid, and all expenses paid trip to France by Campus France. Does that ring a bell? Does Campus France finance your event here? Okay. Which companies are supporting you and everything else? I'll come back to that later. From now on, companies will contribute to research. We have no choice. To innovation. And when we talk about innovation, invention, it's not necessarily those who went to school. There are some who didn't go to school, who are doing very well, who managed to invent things. That's why these centers are being set up, to identify them, to give them a bit of science, some scientific knowledge as well, and to allow them to set up and manufacture what we want. We cannot continue in this way. And for those who import furniture, as I just mentioned, I invite you to find good carpenters here, form good groups, and start investing to produce the quality you want. You will not be able to import and rely on state and institutional markets. If I take someone who goes to secure a contract, it's quite risky, even perilous. We have to work. We have to work. Please, I urge you. Well, more than 100 years ago, pioneering engineers created the very first internal combustion engines. What have we done in Burkina? More than 100 years ago, they learned how to detect oil, to extract it, to refine it in order to create gasoline, diesel, and everything else. What are we doing in Burkina? More than 100 years ago, they created their own gunpowder. Explosives, they manufacture ammunition and weapons. What are we doing? More than 80 years ago, they mastered the atom. They built the bomb. Nuclear and today nuclear energy. What are we doing? Are they smarter than us? Do you believe that? If you don't believe in yourself, you really need to question yourself. Try to wash your own brain again so you can believe in yourself. Because we can do it too. What I expect, I want. After all, we are at war. It's true that your focus is more on health, industry, and other areas, which is very good. As for defense matters, we will handle that privately because at the presidential level, we do have a department that deals with this issue. I want people to be able to come and tell me that they can produce an engine. We will support them. I want people to be able to come and tell me that they can manufacture the powder for our ammunition. We will support them. I want people to be able to come and tell me that they can make trinitrotoluene, TNT, the basic explosive used in shells, even though there are more powerful explosives than that. We will support them. That's what we need. We can't go on like this. 100 years later, we still can't manufacture a single airplane. Maybe we can't even make the hub of a bicycle. Do you think that's serious? We are consumers, and we've been conditioned to be that way. And then you'll hear people debating, no, we can't do everything, we can't do this, we can't do that. And they've been trained to talk. And they no longer believe in Africa. No, we need to stop talking. We need to work. And actually, when we work and then relax, that's the best way. But we can't go on like this. You have TV channels where it's all about dancing. It's entertainment, it's comedy, it's everything. I have nothing against it. The artists, but we can't keep going like this. It's not possible. And we're going to put a stop to a lot of things. Don't be surprised if tomorrow you wake up and find that on your TV channel, there are some channels that no longer broadcast. Because we're going to do it. We're going to force people to work. We are also capable of taking action. We haven't been making intricate pottery for thousands of years just for nothing. And today, everything in your bathroom, the porcelain or whatever, even your plates, we can't import them. It is now absolutely critical that we set aside all distractions and begin to approach this situation with the highest level of professional focus and serious dedication that it truly deserves from us right now. We need to change our mindset. And it's possible. Believe in yourselves. That's the first factor. Believing in yourself that you are capable of doing it. And when you fail while trying, it's not the end of the world. You have to start again, you have to persevere. If today you take a phone, take it apart to try to make it yourself. And if it gets messed up, it's not a big deal. You have to try again tomorrow. Take your own motorcycle, take it completely apart, and try to put it back together to understand how it works. If there are some parts left over, it's not a problem, you just have to find another solution. It's good that things happen like this with laughter, but it's serious. That's why I really like young people. To reconsider many things. And as I specifically mentioned last time, when I had the pleasure of meeting all the students during the Excellence Day event, please stop using your social networks and various digital platforms just to do completely useless and unproductive things. There are pages, there are channels where you can learn science, where you can learn how to do things. I was saying you will find Indians, Pakistanis, people from certain countries who manage to make basic tools and post them on social networks. Take an interest in that and try to reproduce it here. Instead of going to watch dances or even dancing yourself like a fool for reasons no one understands. But that's not it. But others encourage you in that direction. But look at some embassies here. They only fund that. Go to their embassies with a scientific or technological project or an invention you want to develop. That doesn't interest them. If you agree, they'll take you to their country. You go do it over there. But if it's to do it here, they'll never fund you. But if you come with an entertainment project, they'll help you, they'll fund you. And afterwards, they'll make a statement and say that it's to promote Burkinabe culture. Guys, we don't want that. We want technology, first and foremost. Culture is ours. We will fund our own culture and we'll find every way to do it. So, we're not asking anyone to come and fund Burkinabe culture. That's intrinsic to us, it's fundamental, we'll do it ourselves. We're not even asking anyone for help to do that. So, try it out, go to their embassies, present your inventions to do it here. They will never help you. And that doesn't tell you anything. So, I urge the youth to wake up. Scientists, researchers, make yourselves available so you can provide support. Those who haven't gone to school, someone might invent something, but they don't know the chemical composition. But it's up to you, researchers, when we send them to you, to be able to take their invention and say, okay, it's made up of this, 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 and this component. And then help them improve according to your needs. That's the kind of symbiosis I want to see through this type of forum. That's what can help us. I see that the lady from Adiporo doesn't know if she's the patron of the forum, but I was there at the opening of the factory When I was walking through the factory, I asked them a question. So it's foreigners who are here to operate the machines. We want to industrialize, but for all of this, we have to import. There are things you see in certain industrial units that you just can't understand. Just a conveyor belt with an electric motor that turns, but it has to be imported. We're not going to be afraid of God, us too. Let's do it. Excuse me, watch, then copy, and then make it ourselves. We go and pay for a long conveyor belt with an electric motor at the end that turns and moves things along. But we go pay over there. We can't manufacture here. It's actually a sickness. And everyone needs to talk to each other so we can heal. There is a lot to be done. As for me, your operating budgets, again this year, I'm going to cut them. To help young people who invent things and so on, so they can manufacture things locally. So, get ready again. You're going to come. I'm going to cut your institutions, your whatever. I'm going to cut your operating budgets again. Because there's no point in holding workshops or whatever when we import everything you even use in the workshop. Here we are talking into imported microphones. That's the truth. We can't go on like this. All the chairs you're sitting on, maybe they're imported, they're not even made here. So, let's change, and it's possible. And maybe to finish, this is also to call out to those who invent and who are searching. Don't try, right from the first invention or the first research, to become a multimillionaire and a big boss. A lot of people make this mistake. When they create something, well, with the first government contract, the prices are at a certain level, we can't even, because he wants, with the very first order, to go and pay for the latest iPhone, the latest Samsung, the latest Huawei. He has 5 phones in his hand, walking around thinking he's become a big boss. No, you have to take it step by step, otherwise you can't compete where it matters. So please, go slowly, take it easy. It's also that the state provides the resources, and it's the state that finances everything. You can't take the state's resources, try to create something, and then make it your private property. It's first and foremost for the state. Now, there can be an agreement between you and the state so that industry can take this and produce it on a large scale. So, industrialists absolutely must support research and innovation because they are the ones who will benefit from it. So, we have no choice but to put something in place so that you contribute in one way or another. You sponsor a lot of entertainment events, so you can also sponsor young people who are going to invent things. So, get ready, that's how it's going to be done. And remember one thing to finish. We need everyone's brains, and everyone is capable of creating something. It's definitely possible. So all those who have full and well-filled minds, we need you. But we still need someone with a mind full of knowledge and a heart full of patriotism. But someone with a brain full of knowledge and a heart empty of patriotism, we do not want. Because that would be just. The pursuit of personal interest, he does not see the interest of the nation. Be patriotic researchers. You can bring about a revolution. I have confidence in you, and I know that you can do it. You have already worked miracles. There are some who have created things, meaning all over the world, people have been researching for millennia. They never found the solution, but in Burkina, we found the solution. People. There are some in Burkina. Maybe it hasn't been publicized enough. Perhaps we need to look at these things in order to publicize them properly. So, you are capable of creating. Believe in yourselves, all of you who think you have sharp minds and hearts full of patriotism. We are waiting for you so that we can move forward together to create, to innovate, and truly be the heart of West Africa. And to become a power, just as our father of the revolution dreamed for Burkina Faso. It is truly possible. It is truly possible for us to make use of our resources and live comfortably. You go to Dubai or wherever, and you are very happy. China used to be behind, lagging by 50 years. They were far behind, but today they have surpassed everyone. It's through hard work. Let's work first, and then we can have fun. But we must not put entertainment as our priority. So I am counting on each and every one of you. I wish you a very good forum and some excellent discussions. And I asked about the prizes that are awarded. I took the example of Miss Burkina today. The first prize is 5 million, right? The second prize is 3 million. And the other prize is 2 million. Well, we are going to change that starting today. And I hope there are some good inventions this time. If there are, we will multiply all the prizes. We will make sure of that. Okay? So, the competition is open, and if it takes holding the first hit every year to encourage people to create and invent more, we will be ready to take responsibility and invest whatever needs to be invested in it. So take that as a given already. Thank you all very much. I wish you a great forum, and I look forward to hearing about the results and the ideas, the positive ones that will come out of this forum. And may God bless you all. May God protect our dear homeland or death.